Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Julie. I've decided to start a new gnome series like I had for, I think it was February that I did on camera. It's out of my Flower Gnome Gurumi book. It is the month of October. It's going to look similar to this, except that I'm using a little bit different colors. So I'll show you that here in a little bit. Okay, so these are the colors that I'm going to be using for this gnome. Coral Bell, Nest, and these are all from Willow Yarns, the Meadow series. Okay, the third color is Coral, which I think they call red coral in their color catalog or whatever. Okay, Wheat, Lady Slipper, White, and Black. Now if I come out a little bit, I also have everything else I need here. I have my eyes, my pins, my row, I call it a row marker, they call it a stitch marker. Okay, my tapestry needle, my size B crochet hook, my scissors. I also have my directions out. And this month is October that I'm doing right now. And their color names are Sunset, Teak, Salmon, Limestone, Cotton Candy, White, and Black, which the white and black are pretty generic white and black. But the Sunset, I'm using Coral Bell. For Teak, I'm going to be using Nest. For Salmon, I'm using the coral, which they call red coral. Okay, Limestone is my Wheat. And of course, the one that they call Cotton Candy, I call Lady Slipper, because this is a different company that they use. As you can see on the top, it's Yarns and Colors, I guess is the brand name. But I couldn't find that, so I'm using, of course, I like to go to Hirschner's, I believe it's called, Hirschner's, where I order a lot of my yarns and different things. They have the Willow yarns, which is basically the same weight, this meadow. So I'm doing that. I also have a basket under my table here, which I put the yarn in so it unrolls and doesn't roll across the floor. And I also have my polyfill, which I like this one, you know, it's for stuffing toys and crafts and different things, but it's washable. I don't know if you can read down there. It's not supposed to bunch up. It's washable, hypoallergenic, all that good stuff. So that's the brand that I like to use, the Polyfill. So anyway, I will start working on this gnome here. I did do one off camera, and I think I'll put a little picture in here. But I did one off camera. I was just bored one day and started it and just kept going with it. So I will look up in the book which one it is, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so the gnome that I did off camera is for the month of April. It looks like this. And mine, because I use different colors, well, similar colors, but a little different shade, this is what she looks like, or he, whichever. There's the front view, side view, the back, and the other side view. But these, I believe, up here are daisies. Yeah, it must be because it's called the daisy gnome. So these are what they consider daisies. But this is the little gnome that I did off camera. And I have enough material, I believe, to actually make another one. So I have plans on making, I have material, I guess, yarn that I bought ahead of time to make the October that I'm doing right now. I also have enough to do May and I have enough to do November. Those were like my favorite gnomes in the book. And then this one here, so which is April. So when I get done with the other ones, depending on if I want to do a series on them or not, I will do this one again and show you what it looks like making it. But this is the one that I did off camera. Okay, so per the directions, we have to start with the petal. It says petal A. So it looks like we have to make 2 of these. So that makes sense because I was trying to figure out from the picture what I was supposed to do. But anyway, okay. Now remember, the color that they say to use is sunset, and I am going to be using Coral Bell. So I'm going to take off the wrapper, put it in my basket, and get started on the magic ring. That's the first thing we have to do. But we don't do it the traditional way. So I will definitely show you that. Okay, so I got my yarn in the basket. I'm going to make a magic loop here. Basically, you just crisscross your yarn over top of itself. Make sure the tail is facing down in the back. Okay, I've got my marker on row 1. I've got another marker to hold myself into place, and my scissors here. So what it says to do, very first stitch, you make a single crochet, which the first stitch is always the hardest. Okay, single crochet in that loop. Okay, now we have to chain 8 and mark it as the as the last chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops, 8. It said 8, right? Everybody heard me say 8. Okay. Take my marker, my stitch marker, put it in the stitch. Okay, and I should have done it the other way because the little knobby thing got stuck. Okay, but there it is right there. Okay, now it looks like I have to get more of my markers out, which remember they call these pins, which they probably are pins, but I call them stitch markers because you're actually holding that one stitch in place. So I'm just using that to hold it down as a weight. So I got a few out. I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I might have to get more out here. But okay, that was the first little thing. Now it says to start in the second chain from the hook. Get some yarn here. Okay, so the second chain from the hook, this is the first one. Right here. So this one here is the second one. So we start in this one. And it says we do a single crochet in the next 7 chains. So 1, 2, 3, and that doesn't feel right. Nope, I didn't grab all of the threads. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Wow, you can really tell I haven't crocheted in a few because it's been 3-4 weeks because I was very not with it there. Okay, so it says we slip stitch in the magic loop. Okay, so we do a slip stitch in this one. Okay, and then repeat from the beginning 8 more times. So it looks like we'll have 9 of these petals here. Okay, So I'm going to put you down and I'll get the other 8 done. So I have my 9, and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is a close-up of what it looks like with all 9 points on it. Petals, I should say. Kind of looks like a funky starfish, if you ask me. But I had to attach it with a slip stitch into that very first petal. And then I had to pull tight the inside, the magic loop, the magic ring. So I did that, and that's why you got a little bitty hole in the center that you can see. But this is what it looks like. I'll move my row marker to number 2, and I'll see what I have to do. Okay, so for petal A, we have to do a whole bunch of series of stitches. So I'm picking this back up. Okay, getting ready, making sure that loop is tight. Oh, there we go. I got it a little bit tighter. Okay. So the first thing we do is slip stitch in the first stitch. Oh goodness, dropped it already. Okay, so slip stitch. Oh goodness. It's extremely hard to work with these small crochet hooks. This is a size B. I don't know if I told you that, but it's fairly hard to work with them, for me anyway. Yeah, I end up dropping the threads because this thread is made out of more than just one strand. Okay, there we go. That took forever. There's the slip stitch. Okay, now we single crochet in the next one. Okay, chain 1, single crochet in the next. Okay, chain 2, single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we do that. Oh goodness. Okay, we do that 4 times. Okay, I realized I was getting you guys out of frame. So I went back to where I was, which is that first single crochet in the chain 3, and we had to do 4 of them. So single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. That was 2 of them. There's the third one. Single crochet, and then chain 3. So that's the 4th one. So at the end stitch here, which I don't have my marker in because I told you I had to rip out because I didn't realize you guys weren't in frame. So at the end here, we do a single crochet, chain 3, and then a single crochet in that same stitch. Okay, so this is what half of our petal looks like. And now we're going to be working down the second side. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to chain first and then do our single crochet. So we chain 3, single crochet in the next stitch, and we have to do that 4 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the next step we chain 2, then do a single. So we're basically reversing what we did on the first half. Then we'll chain 1 in a single, And then we do a slip stitch in this last one here. Okay, whoops, I dropped one of the little threads. Okay, so I have to, let's see, repeat from the start 8 more times, basically. Okay, the same as what we did before, so I have 9 petals. But this is what the petal looks like. I'll put it down. So hopefully you can see how it widens out, points, and then widens out and comes back in. So I have to do this 8 more times for each of the other petals, and then I slip stitch it to the first stitch, and then we fasten off, leaving a long tail for sewing. So when I get to that point, I will show you. Sorry, I think I just bumped the mic. But when I get all 9 of them done, I will show you what it looks like. And then remember, I have to make another one exactly like this, which I will probably do off camera. And then I have to start working on petal B. And there's actually a petal C. Okay, so I might end this video after I get done with petal A because it's getting kind of longish. Okay, so here is one of the 2 petals for petal A. I got it done. It was a little difficult to hold on to because it kept wanting to twist, but I managed to get it. So I have to make the second one identical to this one, but I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm going to end the video here because it is pretty long. It's more than my 15 minutes. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.